decided to take off some clothes. It was pretty warm out here. The sun is going to be full bore sun all day long, so it's going to get toasty. Super cold down in the valley. It was like 35 down in the valley. Supposed to get up in the 50s or 60s today, so it should be really nice once I get up top here. Still got about half the hill left to go. Can't even see the whole thing. And keep on going. In the last 50 yards or so, I've seen 2 orange newts, which is kind of cool. The only other time I've ever seen them in California is in this park, and I saw them down by the river, where I'm like a couple hundred feet up from the river, so I didn't know they came up this high. But be careful, they move super slow. Don't step on them. They're orange, but they kind of blend in with the dirt also. Got a little bit more ways to go. I'm going to take a break and eat some food because I'm getting hungry. Up the top of the hill, just had a snack. Got a peanut butter banana Cliff Bar. I think this is my number 3 favorite Cliff Bar. It's pretty good. I went to the grocery store the other day, and they had Cliff Bars on sale for $1 a piece, and they're normally like $1.50, $1.80 depending on where you're at. So I bought like pretty much all that they had. I took the boxes and just kind of dumped it in. Then I walked around the corner, and there's like a huge display, and there's a ton more. So I was like, oh, okay. I felt better that I didn't steal them all. I came home and Kelsey's in the kitchen, and I take the grocery bag and I just unload it on the kitchen counter, and there's like hundreds of Cliff Bars. Maybe not hundreds, probably more like 50, but quite a few. So I am going to be eating a lot of Cliff Bars now for the next couple of trips. It's nice out. It's a little chilly. It was nice and warm coming up on the trail. I got up here. You get up this peak. I'm on a ridge now. I'm going to head that way, drop down into a valley. But man, the wind kicks up and it is chilly, but unbelievably nice right now. Curious if anyone knows what's going on with the ground here. It's all like chunked up. There's big clods of dirt been taken up. I wonder if it's a horse. Is it just like the world's worst mole problem? I'm just curious, like what animal has done this? This could be deer too. Anyways, if anyone knows, put it in the comments. This is interesting. The tree right behind me doesn't have any leaves out yet, but you can see this gigantic clump of mistletoe, which I didn't know what that was till I met a tree trimmer here. And it grows like randomly on some of the trees. I think it's actually invasive and not a good thing for the tree itself, but this is one of the largest clumps I've ever seen right behind me, and a lot of the trees in this little valley are dotted with clumps of them. Taking a break. Been about an hour since I had my last little stop. Cut up some cheese and a little bit of meat sticks, some crackers. It's lunchtime for me. I guess it's 11-ish. Done about 6-ish miles so far. Stopped at this nice little pond here. It does look like there's maybe fish in here. I saw a jump or two, so I should have brought a fishing pole. You know how many times I've said that in videos? I should have brought a fishing pole. I didn't even think about it. But this might be a little. I just see some other videos of this area and people catching little sunfish and stuff. So maybe next time I come out here, I will do that. I'm going to stop by like 2 or 3 other little tiny lakes and ponds on the way. Tons of water out here. There's some little random like kind of mud holes that you could get water out of if you needed to. I haven't seen any like big flowing streams yet, but I'm assuming I'll run across one of those soon enough. But this is looks like a plenty good enough water source. Enough talking, time to eat. We're gonna have a little bit of an adventure today. I'm looking for the Kelly Cabin Trail, and as far as you can tell, it doesn't exist. It looks like this area got burnt maybe a couple of years ago, and no one has come back and done anything with the trail. So it's just kind of open grassiness, no definite trail, but it should just follow this little stream right into a lake. So I'm just gonna do a little off-road spelunking here. It's pretty cool walking through here. There are remnants of a trail, but the more I walk, the more I see that I think there must have been like a fire and a mudslide and some water that went through here and pretty much wiped the trail out. So if you're looking to do the Kelly Cabin Trail or Kelly Cabin Canyon Trail or something like that, say that 5 times fast, it does not really exist. So far, this is relatively easy to walk through. But I feel coming up here this might get more challenging. Amazing amount of flowers out. Working my way through this really burned area right here, and I just found this. It's a little, I think that's a femur, maybe a bunny, something like that. You can clearly see burnt in the fire. Been on the go most of the day, getting kind of tired. I started about 7:30 and it's now 1:30. I haven't sat down for very long. I'm gonna sit down for a little bit. Got some chickpeas, sea salt chickpeas, smoked house almonds, some carbs and fat going here. I'm eating like every 2.5-ish hours. Just part of the park's a little different. The first part there's no burn, and it was just kind of like a big up, and now I'm kind of like going through these little ridges, but quite a bit of burn through here. The green is coming back. This must be at least a few years old, probably 2 or 3 years old. But yeah, definitely a different feel with the burn. I'm hoping I'm going to keep heading up north. I just passed Kelly Lake. I'm going to head up to Coit Lake, and I might keep going past there. I just can't like set up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 2 by myself unless I have a fishing pole, because I just can't sit still. It doesn't get dark till 7. So you can keep heading on, hike to maybe like 5:30. 6 o'clock, something like that. It'll give me still an hour hang around in camp. We'll go to bed early and get up early. This is just a weekend out and back trip, so I'm thinking tomorrow I might take a little bit more of a direct route back, but try to switch it up just a little bit so I see some different scenery. There are some spring peepers down there next to the river, and man, they're very loud. Like 200-300 feet below me, I can hear them pretty loud. Time to get some food. I'm sure by now you can tell there are a ton of different types of flowers growing out here, and I don't know what any of them are. I really wish I knew a lot more about California plants. There is an interesting 2 plants growing here. There's one that's got, and they both have the same flowers. One has got these really like dark leaves with like red stripes, and the other's like more a traditional green. So I don't know if they're just in different time phases or if they're completely different plants. If anyone knows, let me know. I feel really stupid not knowing anything about California plants. As I continue to walk around the lake here, you can see there in the background it is completely burned. It's kind of ugly. This must have been seriously covered in some big cattails, which just got completely scorched. I'm going to make it up to the end of this lake and then keep heading up towards another pond and see if there's any areas that aren't quite so burnt, because I don't really want to sleep in the burned area. Quite the stark difference. We have absolutely beautiful green, lovely, and on the other side of the trail, burnt black, absolute grossness. Quite the contrast. Made it to camp, got here about 4 o'clock, and just kind of took a nap. I sprawled out my little sitting pad that kind of doubles as my mini yoga mat and used the backpack as a headrest, and I was just out for like 20 minutes. It felt so good to take a little bit of a nap. I got up at like 5 a.m. and I didn't sleep good at all last night. Every single time I like set my alarm early, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get up and go get to the trailhead real early so I can get good parking and get in before everyone else is there. Every time I do that, I sleep like garbage. Like I woke up at midnight, 2, 3, and then 5 and was ready to go. So I did not sleep the best, so I'm a little sleepy. The sun is about ready to crest down over the ridge here, but technically sundown isn't until 7:15 tonight. So we've got plenty of daylight. I'm gonna go a little tour around my camp. I set up the tarp as it looks like it was about ready to rain. I keep having these random black clouds come over, and then it's nice and sunny again. So hopefully we don't get any rain tonight. This acts as a nice little windbreak. It's probably what helped me take my nap so well. So yeah, let's go explore this little stream bed some. And then I'm gonna have dinner probably about an hour. I'm really not that terribly hungry. I had a couple M&Ms when I first came into camp, and that helped. The one negative about this campsite is I am on a flight path. I don't know to what here it comes. I don't know if you can hear it. I feel like I'm like Joe here, you know, who always has airplanes in his videos. I'm on a flight path to either Oakland, maybe San Jose, or San Francisco. I don't know, but it's about every 20 minutes, consistently, shoo, airplane. Hopefully that stops this evening. Just got out of my tent. There's this noise, and I was like, what in the heck is that noise? It was like a thump, bunk, kunk, thump, bunk, kunk. I was like, what is that? And there's a turkey. All I got is a prime wide angle lens, so you're not going to be able to see him, but a full-on male turkey, full display. I think, oh, there's 2 of them. I wonder if this is like Battle Royale. I'm going to slowly go up here. But, oh yeah, holy cow. So no luck for my buddy the turkey. Ever since I've been trying to take a nap down there, I kept hearing this weird thump bunk boom noise, and I was like, what is that? I thought it was like a tree in the water, or maybe an oil pump. Like I had no idea like what on earth is making that noise. Sure enough, it was the male turkey trying to show off. I've never seen one that close, like in the wild. There's like 2 or 3 hens up here. He was trying to go after them. Hopefully I didn't disrupt his mating rituals too bad, but he'd been doing that for at least 45 minutes, so I don't think they were terribly interested in him before I came up this way. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Wildlife today has been pretty good. I've seen about 7 or 8 deer, 5, 6 turkeys, 4 or 5 newts, a couple squirrels, quite a few birds. So I'd say that's successful. We keep exploring around and see what else is around camp here. In December of this year, I was looking back at some of my videos I'd shot in 2020 and said, hey, you know, I was really happy that I shot some videos, but I'd like to get out, and I was kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't get out and didn't do as many trips as what I would want. So I've made a commitment this year to myself to try to get out a lot more frequently and shoot some more videos. You know, I think it's really important as I look back, you know, videos I shot 10 years ago, you know, it's still awesome to look back on those and see how I've grown as an outdoors person and just as a human in general. So I really like to try to document some more stuff. So you might have noticed I've been trying to put out a video once every, you know, week or so, maybe every 2 weeks. We'll see how life goes. And trying to switch it up a little bit, gear review video and a little bit of trip video. You know, that's what I like on a channel. I like to see the person using the piece of gear in the field and then coming back and do a review and then, you know, and seeing both sides of it. So with that said, geeky camera talk now for a second. The main reason I came out today was to play with my new camera. Kelsey's probably watching this laughing because I've been kind of obsessing about it all week. And I'm pretty set on this current setup. I think I'm going to use this for the rest of the year for sure, and for future videos. Quick 2-minute history. Last year, most of the videos you saw was shot on an iPhone 10, and I think I kind of got it. I feel like I did as well as I could with an iPhone. There are a lot of limitations, but there's a lot of positives to using an iPhone, and I'm going to do a separate video talking about how to get the most out of an iPhone video. Audio is a big thing. Tripods, and then film editing with an iPhone. So I'll talk about that in a completely separate video. But as far as bigger cameras, I've gone through a couple in the last like 6 months. I started with the Canon RP, which was part of their new RF mirrorless. I started with the Canon RP, which is part of their new RF mirrorless setup, and I like that camera. There's a lack of lenses. Specifically, there's a lack of prime wide-angle lenses, which I think are like the most critical lens when it comes to backpacking. If you're doing landscapes, if you're doing vloggy shots, if you're doing close-ups even, you can get pretty good with wide-angle lenses. So like the lack of that and the fact that pretty much everything in the Canon system is like 15 to 20% heavier or just physically larger than the Sony system has made me kind of look more closely at Sony's. I started this year, I started with the A6600. That's their crop sensor, so the smaller sensor APS-C camera, A6600, and I used mainly the 16mm Sigma f1.4. So if you watch like my last Mount Talik video or the dog video where we did the backpacking trip, those last 2 videos, those were all shot A6600, standard picture profile, and f1.4 16mm. So I'm trying to just use the prime because it's the lightest, it's the most versatile. You can get wide shots, you can get close to people, vloggy shots, and you do all that with just a wide prime. So after I was like, okay, I really like the Sony system, but I want some more capability. I've always really wanted to get into color grading and really geek out with the video and try to make it as high quality as possible. So I took a big plunge, tried to stimulate the economy here, and I got rid of the A6600. Great camera, like really I liked it. The biggest problem with it was the lack of flippy screen. That was killing me because right now I can look at a flippy screen and see it. So I upgraded. I kind of always wanted this camera, but they released a new one. So I have the new Sony A7S III, which is like seems to be the high-end vlogging camera right now. So this is my first major trip with it. I dinked around with it in the backyard. So far, I'm really liking it. The controls, the setup, everything like that. And I'm shooting this entire video on their 20mm f1.8 lens, which is nice because it gets really wide. I got it set right now at f2.2, so the background's probably decently blown out. I think it's a really good kind of all-rounder lens. It is frustrating me though, like with that turkey thing or some of the shots I've done today. I'm like, man, I'm killing right now for just like a mid-range zoom. So I think the ultimate combo in my mind of like kind of on the heavy end but not going like super extreme is I think some of the future trips where I want a really high quality video, I'm going to try out the 24 to 70 f4 where I don't need a super wide aperture during the day. So like I'll use like maybe 24 to 70, or they have a 24 to 105. That's significantly heavier though. And then keep this prime lens. I think this prime lens is going to be awesome for low light, campfire, around camp, these kind of interview shots. But it just doesn't have any reach. It's so wide that you can't zoom into anything. Even like my landscape shots, they feel almost too wide. So now that I'm starting to learn that, I think a run and gun, small kind of stabilized zoom for on the go during the day, and then around camp, switch it up to the wide shot with the wide aperture. There's probably way too much geeky camera information for most people out there, but if you're curious why I came out today, and if you're at all a camera geek like myself, I've been a camera nerd since like probably before high school. I think middle school. My mom had a film Canon DSLR, and I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. You could shoot like cameras and it would zoom, and I thought that was so cool. So now I finally have reached this is my ultimate. I don't think I'll ever buy a camera more expensive or higher end than this particular one, but I'm pretty happy with it so far. We'll see how the video looks like in post. You guys will be the judge, but this is what I'm going to be continuing to use for most of the rest of the year. And as I get better with it, I might do a review. I never do a full review of any piece of gear until I've put like a couple of months of use, had a few rainstorms on it, put 50 miles on it, whatever. So yeah. Just got back from a little walk, and then shot a video also about my current cook kit and the gear I use to make food out here in the backcountry. If anyone's curious in seeing a kind of review video or an overview of one of the tools or gear that I use on a regular basis, feel free to put it in the comments so I can try to get to it. I am quite hungry. I'm going to chow down on this. I got dinner ready. You guys are probably getting tired of me talking about the pesto ramen, but I think this has become my favorite backcountry dinner other than the Thai peanut ramen. And I used to make small pizzas, and you can't beat pizza, but I'm not going to bring all that along. That requires an actual stove. This time I did double the amount of Parmesan I brought from last time when I had this with Kelsey. It was so much better. I've never had a meal and been like, I think that's had enough Parmesan. Oh yeah. This is a very calorically heavy dinner between the Parmesan, olive oil, the amount of pine nuts I put in here, and then the salami. There's just like this slight breeze that's rolling down that hill, and it is chilly. Just a wee bit chilly. So good. Cold. Freezing my butt off here. I put up my Teletubby hood here. Boom. No more cold head. I just look like an idiot. I inhaled that meal. That was so good. I definitely needed that. Now it's on to dessert. I saw this at the gas station the other day. Fudge brownie M&Ms. And these are like amazing. Where have these been my entire life? I think these might be better than peanut M&Ms. Yes, I said it here. These are better than peanut M&Ms. Actually, I think they actually have a peanut in them. Let's see. Do these have a peanut in them? They do not. No peanut inside them. I couldn't tell. There's like a chocolatey nougat inside of fudge brownie. These are so good. They're probably terrible for you. And they're not. Don't have as high a fat content as the peanut M&Ms. Let's compare here. Let's do a nutrition test in the wild. Yes, they have far less protein, and they have the same amount of fat. Actually, no, way less fat. So they're missing the peanuts, which these give you more protein and fat, which is what you really need. These just taste epic. So these are healthy, right? These are your healthy M&Ms. These are your unhealthy M&Ms. That's the way I'm looking at it. So good. Ate too much ramen, pasta, and M&Ms. So now I'm going for a post-dinner walk up and down the river. See if I can see anything. Any frogs or newts or anything like that. Last time I was here is when I saw the orange newts in the water. but I haven't seen any here. All of the streams are very kelpy. It's the term I'm going to use. They're very kelpy. They have a lot of green pond scum to them. The water is unbelievably clear though. Sorry, I keep having some too much olive oil in the dinner feeling. But the water is super clear. When I filtered it, it was one of the clearest I've ever had. It was super clear water. It just looks kind of like gross, I think is the word I would use. Really pretty through here. I'm so happy that I came and the flowers, are out. I was not sure if it was going to be, too early or too late in the season. But I think I nailed the timing. Really, most of the flowers are good and out. So I think it's California poppy, the orange yellow ones. Those are out, but they're not opening up a whole lot, which I was surprised even in the sunlight. I thought they would be open, but they weren't. Continue my after dinner walk here to shake down all the ramen and M&Ms. And I found the place where I should have camped, where it is much more wide open. Not any flatter though. But yeah, damn, I should have come over here. If I would have just walked 100 more yards. Well, lesson for next time. Yeah, this is cool. This is a big open field here. Yeah, this is perfect. I always love these spaces that are the big, gnarly, spread out oak trees and right next to the river and kind of a big flat area. Yeah, this is a cool spot. Might have to come back here someday. Yeah, river's right there. Oh, this is so cool. Paradise out here. This is a gnarly oak tree. This sucker's old. That thing has been around for a while. I've probably seen a couple of fires. Definitely looks like fire swept through here a couple years ago. Finally found one. There's one of my buddies. Pretty cool. I figured they'd be in here. That was so cool. I'm pretty happy I saw that newt. This is turning out to be a pretty good wildlife viewing trip. The deer, the turkey, the newts. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Ready to go to bed. Had an awesome day. Had a great hike. Saw some animals, amazing scenes. Got to play with my new camera. Good dinner. I mean, it's a pretty good day of hiking, right? Took some pictures here at night, see if any of the astro shots come out. I'm going to sit back, throw in the AirPods, and listen to the book North by Scott Jurek. It's his journey of attempting the fastest known time on the Appalachian Trail. It's pretty good so far. I finished about 2.5 hours of the book. Catch up with you guys in the morning. Good morning. I slept pretty good. As you can see, it got pretty chilly down here last night. A little bit of frost. But slept through the night. Super good. It was really quiet. I was surprised there's no deer running around or none of the turkeys, anything like that. Typically, if I'm backpacking, I usually just eat a cold breakfast, but I knew it was going to be chilly this morning, so I brought some oatmeal. Gonna get the oatmeal going, pack up. My goal would be to be on trail by 7:45, 8 o'clock, something like that. And then it's probably about a 6-7 hour walk back to the car. Hopefully the sun comes up soon and starts warming me up here in this valley. I'm sure by 9:30 I'll be back down to shorts. Cinnamon apple with almonds oatmeal. It's nice to have a warm breakfast when it's this chilly. I don't know if it really got too much below freezing. I mean, there's a decent layer of frost out, but it's definitely cold. Sun's starting to come up though, which is nice. I'm not looking forward to packing up my tent. It got pretty damp in there. It was very windy last night, and then of course about 9 o'clock sun goes down, no wind, so everything is Very condensating. Oh, that's so good. All packed up, the lens is a little foggy, ready to roll out. Gained about 1,000 feet from where I started this morning, down in the valley. Awesome views on the way up, tons and tons of flowers. A gorgeous view over these two valleys here with all this fog is rolled in. It's really, really fun to take a look at on the hike up, and you can see it slowly moving and kind of fading away now that the sun has come up. I've got another probably 5 or 6 miles left to go. Most of the rest of today is just relatively easy road walking with a couple of trails I'm going to mix in. Could not be happier. It's a lot windier today. I took my pants off at and switched to shorts at probably 9 o'clock yesterday morning, and today I think I'm gonna keep them on for a while longer. It's substantially windier, a little chillier, and absolutely no clouds. Yesterday there was a bunch of clouds, but today is clear blue skies, and yeah, this is awesome. I wish everything wasn't burnt though. That's the only negative. Everything is burnt around here. Made it to the top of Wilson Peak, been going now for about 4 hours. Awesome, great views as I'm climbing. The fog kind of slowly lifted out of the valley. That was cool to see. And now that I've gotten up to the top, you can see clear across the Central Valley all the way over to the Sierras. And you can see for way all the way up to Tahoe and way down quite a way. So that's pretty cool. You don't always get these super clear days, but usually it's springtime. You get these really nice days. And then over here is the kind of the Bay Area and then the ocean. And there's still some leftover fog. So kind of a cool thing. You can see basically halfway across California sitting right here. So that's pretty awesome. You don't get views like that everywhere. Gonna eat a snack, standard lunch. Got some whole wheat. These have an herby taste to them. They're pretty good whole wheat crackers, smoked Gouda, and I brought the spicy salami today. Pretty excited about that. I'm hungry. Big hungry. I have a lot of gummy bears left over too, and I think this will probably be my last major break, so I'm going to crush all the gummy bears I got. I love gummy bears, yes I do. Gummy bears are the best for you. I just made that up. I could be a poet. Got my two last favorite ones, the clears. I think clear's my favorite. Or red, occasionally orange. I do like the clear ones quite a bit. Yep. Nothing better than that high fructose corn syrup right there. Some gooiness. Here at the top of the peak, and there's two USGS markers. There's one there on a platform, which I've never seen one like that. And then there's the normal way of doing things where they put it on a rock. So I don't know why there's two different ones. If anyone knows why, let me know. Has the peak shifted the 8 feet from there to there? I've never seen that before. made it back to the car. These car recaps at the end of the trip are starting to become a thing. Great trip. Had a lot of fun. It was perfect weather. Like, honestly, I couldn't have asked for better. The flowers were out, which I'm glad to know they're out this early. Saw quite a bit of wildlife yesterday, not so much today. And I didn't feel like it was that crowded. I got close to the trailhead, and like always, if you get within a mile of the trailhead, you see a bunch of people. But then, like, when I was out and about, a couple miles out, I didn't really see that many people. Only saw a handful of other backpackers and probably like 10 mountain bikers today. So for a weekend in the spring, and it's really nice. It doesn't feel crowded, which is kind of nice. And last night I was able to find a spot and be by myself. Had fun playing with my new camera. Hopefully the video comes out well and looks good. Please let me know if you got any questions. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.